it would seem Blizzard have lost all of the players they've managed to actually gain in the last 5 years. Now, this might sound really bad, and if you guys have read the title of the video and you've clicked on the video and you've listened to what I've just said, you'd be like, well, they've lost all of the players they managed to gain in the last 5 years. That sounds really bad, Sty. It is bad. It is actually pretty bad, but it's also pretty good because it means that things are probably going to change going forward into the future. And for us as fans of Overwatch, we can actually kind of work out in a roundabout way how many people of the total Blizzard player base play Overwatch, and then from that kind of work out the sizes of the franchises. Obviously, it doesn't directly correlate to how much money is made because, yes, World of Warcraft has a subscription. It's got an in-game store, all of this, So I'm sure internally in Blizzard, that's the big dog, and then probably Hearthstone, then probably Overwatch. But some of the monthly active user stats give a different tale, and it's really interesting to go through this. So let's break this down, right? Because there's a lot of information here. So this has been put together on Reddit. I'll just quickly show you guys the Reddit post. This has been put by It's Mike Meekins. Pretty nice little graph. And what has actually been put together here is all of the monthly active user stats from every single quarter from all of the Activision earning this thing. So the earning, what do they call this? The earnings reports, or second quarter results. Basically, every quarter they put out their earnings reports. We've been over this before, but you guys know what this is. But basically, this person has gone through, built a graph, and added all of the monthly active user stats. Now, I'm going to blow this graph up, and we will take a look at these comments in a bit, but I just want to go in and look at this firstly. Now, I'm sort of blocking in the bottom corner, but the very first number is 26. And if you look to the other side of the screen over here, the next number is 26. This means that basically Blizzard started in Q1 2016. This is before Overwatch launched, with 26 million active monthly users. Now, what is interesting about that? Well, it was a comparatively dry time for Blizzard. And what I mean by that is, what did they have? Warlords of Draenor was out, which I don't think was a very good expansion for World of Warcraft. I will hold my hands up and say, though, I'm not a diehard WoW player. I can't really comment on the quality of expansions. But from what my friends have told me, Legion was extremely good. Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands, not great. And Wrath of the Lich King was awesome. That's all I know when it comes to WoW. What I know about is Overwatch. Look at this as the graph goes up. In fact, let me just pull out my wonderful pen. That sounds totally wrong, but we're gonna do it anyway. Hey, there it is. Awesome. So if we get this, and if we draw on here, what is this? I don't want go away. I do not want to update. Thank you. So if we get this and we take a look at these statistics, right? So here we've got the launch of Overwatch. Now this bumps up the figures to 42 million in launch month, but then it does drop down, right? So there is actually a bit of a decline there. So Overwatch manages to pump up to 42 million monthly active users. Then it comes down to 36, which is just about the launch of Legion. Then we see a pretty decent growth to what is the peak over the last 5 years for Blizzard when it comes to monthly active users. Now, you're probably thinking, what the hell even is a monthly active user? I'm not entirely sure, but it means somebody who uses a Blizzard game in a month. So if you log into a game, so if you open Battle.net and click on play, it doesn't matter how long you play it, you become a monthly active user. I think that's what it is. I doubt that they're tracking you for like, oh, you need to play the games for an hour. I doubt it's that, because some people probably don't even play the games for an hour a month. If you play Hearthstone, maybe you jump in, play one game, and that's all you do, and you do it every month. I don't know. Maybe you play one game of quick play on Overwatch or something every month, but you would be counted as a monthly active user. And this is, again, really good to the investors, because they love it if there's loads of people using the product. It means there's more people to sell stuff to. So then they invest more money into the company and all of that good stuff. Anyway, we go back to this graph here. So we see Overwatch launch, great, and then a bit of a drop, 36 million. Okay, still decent, still better than 26 million. Like literally in 4 quarters, they've managed to pile on 20 million active users, and then they go up to 46. And then what we start to see here is a pretty slow decline. Now, this decline on this graph, I mean, this is taken from the World of Warcraft subreddit, so it's only really focusing on World of Warcraft, because, like, obviously these are the only major launches that's come out of Blizzard in the last 5 years. We don't have any. There's no Overwatch 2, is there? There's no Hearthstone 2, although, well, Hearthstone does have expansions. That's not entirely right of me to say that. And again, Hearthstone isn't my specialty. Like, I've played Hearthstone. Yeah, actually, really interesting fact. I was one of the first people to stream Hearthstone on Twitch because I just randomly got sent a key. I wasn't even like a content creator at the time. I just got a key for Hearthstone, and I was like, I've played this game, but I didn't like it, so whatever. But yeah, so these are the major launches, right? You could say. So if we go through this and we look at what happened with Overwatch specifically, you get a big launch week, which is great. And this is the biggest growth, really, that they've seen. This goes from 26 million down below me to 42 million. That is by far the biggest chunk of growth they've had in the last 5 years. So this bad boy, this game, this is what really perplexes me. I would be pumping investment into this to turn this into a monster. There's loads of content, awesome stuff, loads of new stuff coming out. That would surely be your focus, right? But obviously it wasn't. So we just get Overwatch, great. And we do get Overwatch League in when did that come out? End of 2017, was it? 2018? 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 2018, 2019, 2019. Yeah, 2018, I think. Even I can't remember. And even behind me, I've got the championship thing there for Spitfire winning the league in season 1, because of course I was part of the team and I was actually on the stage for all that, and it was great stuff. But yeah, so what I think we can take away from this is there was never really any massive Overwatch update throughout any of these months here on the bottom to propel this chart higher, which just seems crazy to me. It's like, why wasn't this ever a thing that was, well, like, why didn't they do it? Like, I'll never, ever, ever understand why they just stopped updating Overwatch when, after 2017, so if you said this was the peak of Overwatch here and the peak of Blizzard in the last 5 years, it's 46 million monthly active users here. And then they do not actually capitalize on this. And this is 2017, Q2 2017. So this is still, like, you could say the height of Overwatch, right? You're still getting relatively new seasonal events here, things that we like, major updates. We're still getting heroes, we're getting all of that. But then it looks very clear to me that after the first year, maybe even the first 2 years, let's say 2018, to sort of be diplomatic, this is when you really needed an Overwatch expansion. And if you did, could this graph have looked something like this? Could the graph have actually started coming down like this here and then peaked back up again? Would it peak up to these heights? I don't know. But it would definitely peak back up again. And then sure, it would start declining as it's waiting for more content to come through, right? But remember, this isn't just solely for Overwatch, this graph. This graph is also for World of Warcraft, and it's for Hearthstone and StarCraft and Heroes of the Storm. But like I said, the main thing here is Warcraft expansions are the only main things which actually launched in this time frame. So hopefully that kind of adds a little bit of flavor to what's going on here. So, and the reason why this could be good for us is that it's very clear, like, to even an idiot like me, I'm sure it's clear to Blizzard as well, you've got to make content for Overwatch, guys. When Overwatch 2 comes out, keep this bad boy rolling, keep the content coming, and then, like, imagine, like, you know, Overwatch 2 launches. So this is the quarter we're in now. You know, imagine if it launches Q1 or let's say, I hope it launches Q2 2022. If it does, then maybe they start seeing this graph trend back up again. But they need to fix everything, because remember, this isn't just Overwatch, right? Warcraft needs fixing because it's apparently in a super bad state and all of their other stuff. So, yeah, all right. But let's work out, though, what we can with monthly active users. So remember 26. So 26 million is the last reported monthly active users that they actually reported. So the last time we got specific franchise information, because what Blizzard tend to do is group all of Blizzard together. They don't break down, this is how many players we've got for this game, this is how many we've got for that game, this is how many we've got for that game. And remember, this is monthly active users. It isn't total players. It's not the number of people that have bought the game. That'll be higher than monthly active users, because you may buy the game, play it for 1 month, and then never touch it again. Monthly active users is about keeping people playing the games, right? So what that translates to us is, well, new content, people come play the game, they enjoy the game, they play the game more, and they love it. You know what I mean? It's like, anyway, so what we've got here is Yahoo Finance, and this is back in, I believe this is October. Let me just check this. Yeah, October 2029. So if we go down here, this will show us the last time we actually got some info on the number of people playing Overwatch. So look at this. It says, meanwhile, Blizzard saw revenue of 411 million, with Hearthstone monthly active users growing year over year, and World of Warcraft monthly active users holding steady ahead of the launch of the franchise's Shadowlands expansion. Overwatch, for its part, had 10 million monthly active users. So if Overwatch had 10 million and we've got 26 million here, I mean, it's not going to have 10, because, I mean, remember, this was October, right? So if I just bring my pen back up, this was, so this would be like Q4 2019. So if Overwatch had 10 million players then, and there was a combined 32 million, and we kind of, like, I do a little bit of quick math in my head, or I should say maths, I'm very British indeed. that by now, like if we take into account, let's say, conservative estimate of, let's say, 7 million active users. So 7 million players that make up this 26, potentially from Overwatch. Surely the other, what's WoW got? 6 million, 7 million. So they were at 14. We had another 7 million in for Hearthstone, maybe. Maybe then we're up to 21, and then we've just got the users left over from various other Blizzard games. I don't know. Maybe I've got the figures wrong there. Maybe Overwatch is higher. Maybe Overwatch has gone up from 10. Maybe it still is 10. So it's very interesting to me that when you look at their franchises, it looks like, you've got a game here which has had no updates, basically. Now, I know it's rich of me to say that because, we got Heroes for a few years. We got events. But it is a game that is not supported, and it is still friggin' massive inside your Blizzard ecosystem. So when you launch this bad boy and give it more friggin' resources as well, Blizzard, it's just going to be, surely it's going to be big, right? Good Lord. Okay, so, and the other thing I want to show you guys is this, because this is kind of, this is actually really interestingly worded. So what we've got here is, it says Blizzard, and it breaks down what they've got, and it's like, oh yeah, Blizzard have got 26 million monthly active users. Now, we can go up and compare this to what, like, Call of Duty. And okay, they've got 127 million. Now, you've got to remember, they've got Call of Duty Mobile, which has got a ton of players. And they've got Warzone, which is a free-to-play battle royale game that has got a ton of players. I think Call of Duty and Cold War itself, I don't think people really play them. But these two bad boys at the bottom, they are killing it. These are where all their users are coming from. But remember, it's free-to-play. They're not buying the game. It is free-to-play. So you will have inflated figures there. Obviously, if we jump down to King, you'll just see insane numbers because King is a mobile game company. Anybody can just whip out their phone and just be like, boosh, and get the game straight away. So Candy Crush, everybody's mother plays that, and the grannies and whatever. In fact, it always makes me laugh whenever I'm on public transport, which has literally been years now, because we've been in a bloody pandemic, which is something I will get onto in a second. That, in fact, that's a really good segue to go onto the pandemic rant. But everybody, they're all playing Candy Crush on the phones. That's what I'm getting at. Or they're playing like just, some variation of a Supercell game or something, whatever. Anyway, they got 255 million. Blizzard has 26 million. It's by far lagging behind, but it's still quite profitable compared to the... Well, it's not as profitable as the other companies, but it still makes a ton of money. But this is what really made me laugh. Because World of Warcraft, it says, net bookings again grew a double-digit percentage year-on-year, driven by the launch of Burning Crusade Classic. Subscriber numbers and hours played were higher following the release. Now, what made me laugh with this is because, obviously, figures will be higher after you launch a game because people will buy it. The thing with WoW, though, it's keeping people coming back and playing the game. And it's exactly the same with Overwatch, right? You want them to come back and you want them to keep playing the game. And this is what we've been doing for years because we friggin' love Overwatch. So look at this, right? I'll just read the Overwatch 2 section off. I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again because it is the hopium. It is the copium. Look at this. Overwatch 2 development passed an important internal milestone in recent weeks after a great response to the recent community update. And I'll do the same thing I did last time. And the team is looking forward to revealing more of the game in the coming months as they approach the later stages of production. Okay, whatever. So we're going to get news, and it's great. Now, I just want to show you this again. I know we've looked at this a lot in the video, but pandemic happened. So if we go from let me just clear all this off. The pandemic sort of became a problem, let's say, sort of here, Q1 2020 becomes a real big problem. It was happening all over the place in I won't say all over the place, but Q4 2019, I think people started to become aware in certain regions of the world. But still, there's a decline here. Now, the funny thing is, what are people doing? Like everything declined as well. Like if we put Overwatch League in, I love Overwatch League, but even that declined in the pandemic times. But everybody's locked in their house. All they do is play games. All they do is watch esports if you're a gamer, right? That's what you're doing. So your numbers shouldn't have gone down. Now, I know there's obviously challenges with making, changing development to everyone's working from home instead of working from the office and whatever. But yeah, it's not great, is it? Look at Apex Legends. I hate to always use Apex as an example, but Apex is just an absolute monster, and the content is coming out for it. That game is trending up like crazy. Loads of people are playing it. It regularly dominates Twitch now. The categories in Twitch easily. The YouTube audience for it is huge. It's just, It's massive, right? And it's leading the way in that sort of content delivery way. So I don't know whether we can say, oh yeah, but it's a pandemic, so Blizzard couldn't make content. I'm just not sure about that. But I did want to cover that because I think it's important. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys is this. So remember, this is WoW Reddit. Like this is not somewhere that I go to, right? But this popped up on literally all on Reddit. So it's like on the homepage of Reddit. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't actually put 2 and 2 together until I read this post, because obviously I'd seen the earnings call stuff. But going back and looking at it through the years, it's actually really stark, the decline. This is what got me. Like literally the second comment, it's about Overwatch. And it's in the Warcraft subreddit. Like this game is massive. It's so big. It makes me so sad. Right, so this user says, I used to play Overwatch consistently or constantly, but the frequent changes, patches, and updates got to be too much. Adding the toxic player base, and the most toxic player base I've ever been a part of, and it just wasn't fun. Like this, I don't think Overwatch is the most toxic player base. Yeah, it's got its problems, but it's not the most toxic. I mean, what the hell? But yeah, it's okay. It has its problems, but we'll leave it at that. Nobody tries in quick play. Go to competitive if you want to win. Try hard. Okay. But then everyone is stubborn ass in comp, where nobody's willing to swap even in role queues. I mean, fair. I mean, the problem with Overwatch is, especially in competitive, you rely on 5 other people to play together, and if they don't, you generally lose the game. It's very easy for one person to throw the match on Overwatch, and incredibly difficult for one person to carry. That's always been the problem, which hopefully won't be as bad when 5v5 comes out, or well, when Overwatch PvP just turns to 5v5 with Overwatch 2. But of course, that's got all of its other problems. Anyway, their Widow is killing the healers, guys, whatever. We've got healers, says the Road Dog. But this next comment really makes it hit home, doesn't it? They just needed to keep updating the damn game. The last map we got was Paris. The last character was Echo. And now with everything coming out about the actual development for Overwatch 2, we're supposed to go another 2 years like this. No fucking way. And it's just like, yeah. And somebody said, well, Havana came out as well. Did you forget about that? Oh, so yeah. Listen, guys, why am I like, I don't want to be doom and gloom, because I mean, there's enough of that going on in the world anyway. But this says to me there is a chance to fix this. Now, will Overwatch 2 reach the same heights Overwatch reached? I don't know. Does it need to reach those heights? Again, I don't know. It needs content. And I'm hoping that's what it's got. You know, you have to remember, these developers that built Overwatch, they gave us a game that was great when it launched. They gave us great seasonal events. They gave us awesome cinematics and a pretty good lore as well, to be honest. And then it stopped. You know, if I get my pen back out, because I really like this timeline, but if we just say, like, when do we believe Overwatch development sort of stopped? I don't know. Well, we know 2019 that they showed off. 2019 Q4, this is where they showed off Overwatch 2 at BlizzCon. But they were probably working on, I don't know, let's just say whatever, Q2. So from this point onwards, this is when they're working on Overwatch 2. And when we just don't really see anything launch. I mean, again, this is just a rough estimation. We'll never know when they started working on Overwatch 2. But we can kind of say when they stopped working on Overwatch, because when we stopped getting new seasonal events and stuff like that. But it's like, the message here, I think, is very clear. You give the Overwatch development team the resources they need to do the job. They will do the job. And if they have been working in this time frame on Overwatch 2, the content we get hit with should be massive. It should be really good. We should get maybe 6 new heroes. We should get tons of new maps. A massive single player campaign. But then, beyond that, that will keep you going for maybe, you know, a few months. It's about what happens next. It's about the level of support Overwatch receives. And that's what makes me worried, that it's just going to be, oh, like one of these expansions where they just drop it and they're like, okay, great, fine. And then they just forget about it. I really hope they don't. I really hope they don't. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. Again, it's been another one of these sort of discussion videos, but there is a lot to talk about, and I do think we need to talk about these things. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, remember you can like the channel, or like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on everything, which is @Stylosa, and I will catch you lovely lot on the next video. Toodaloo.